and welcome again to Saviours RPG, our weekly Dungeons & Dragons stream here, with episode 6 of our current story, Patchwork. Mixer sort of had a bit of a shit-the-bed type incident last week, and our episode 5 has disappeared before we were able to download it and put it on our YouTube. So I will try and do a wee bit longer recap once we've done the player introductions and things like that to catch you up. Yes, very difficult thing. We went there and it just wasn't there. And we've not been able to have any help from Mixer support, who basically looked and said, oh, it's not there. So apologies for anyone that missed last week and didn't manage to catch up on the VOD as normal, but it was out with our control. We are very glad that you are here and choosing to spend your Sunday afternoon with us. And without further ado, I will jump to player introductions. So, Mr. Terrorblade, shall we start with you?
And test out if I can be like this close. Am I coming in through?
Yeah, you're all right. Your microphone seems to have it's definitely responded to domestic violence, which really shouldn't be something that is on this channel at all. It's very strange.
No. Saviours D&D. No.
Terror, no.
No. Yes, I play Moore, or also full name Arungalash the Herachol, commonly called Moore, and he's a human wizard, and he's currently underwater.
Thank you. Jabber.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I'm Jabber.
Fuck.
I play Arathea, the Warlock of the Veil. Yep.
Yeah. That's my favourite ever Jabber. Very good. Good work. Emeros, try and follow that, if you will, as I throw you under a bus.
Hello, everyone. I'm Emeros, and I'm playing the human swashbuckling bard, whose colours of the sword, named Silvereye Marion.
Thank you very much. I can always rely on you to be the grown-up and bring us back on track, Emeros. Thank you. Top of the class. Last but no means least, Dobro.
No means least, but not top of the class, apparently. Hi, I'm Dambro, and I play Grashtar, and he is an orc, and he doesn't like to talk very much, and he likes to fight a lot. It's fun.
Yes.
This is all. Oops,
So,
that's the wrong thing.
are we okay?
Yeah, we're good.
I don't have the stream up, so I can't see
we're good.
everything's happening there. Right, cool. So, as I said, last week our VOD disappeared. So I'll try and give a wee bit of a longer review of what happened last week, though I usually use the VOD to write my reviews as well, so there are bits that may be missing or slightly misremembered, and there'll definitely be some of the RP and stuff that I may not have been able, because obviously I'm using my notes for the story that do change a wee bit. So, following the party's meeting with the now, and I think it was last week you named him Quilt Man. No, that's never. I love that. This was Jabber basically trying to shoehorn someone saying Patchwork Man into the story, everyone deliberately avoiding it, someone saying Quilt Man, and that is now what has stuck. So Quilt Man, and there was a lot of conversation and a lot of tension. Players can jump in any time if I'm sort of getting it a wee bit wrong, but especially tension between Grash and Mor, because Grash didn't understand Mor's wish to talk to the creature, thought that he had made matters worse, and vice versa with Mor. He's more focused on, he just wants to understand that it's the knowledge of what's going on that is sort of driving his interest in this at the moment. So there was a bit of fraction there. Nothing too, like, we're not going PvP yet, but you never know. Then Silvereye received a cry for help in the early hours of the morning from Diliati's well, from somebody who the party had not met before but had mentioned, individual called Dewdrop, who is a very influential businesswoman in the town. And it seemed that her partner, Nersoni, had herself been abducted by the Quilt Man, and had asked and implored the party to come back to speak to the sergeant at the Sea Shields, and in the hope that they would take a help to her and go and try and track her partner. So they duly did so, went back to Diliati's well, spoke with Dewdrop, with the sergeant, and Dewdrop told the party that they had been very busy in the business, and that Nersoni had told Dewdrop to go to bed because she had a long day the next day, and she would tidy up and try and start on some of the next day's orders. Dewdrop had then awakened in the night by something, and had noticed that Nersoni was not in bed beside her. Heard a sort of slight noise, but she wasn't sure if that was just her mind playing tricks on her. And on going downstairs to investigate, expecting to find work being done and bustling off, going backwards and forwards, making up orders, there was no sign of Nersoni, but the back window was open, and there were a few spots of blood and a very large footprint in sort of with moisture and a little bit of clay that it had been on a wooden floor. So the party agreed to go and help, spent one more night in the village, and have now followed the bounding path of broken tree branches and trampled shrubs that they're now semi-used to tracking. They're more aware of the pattern of this creature's movement, that you get a big sort of impacted, disrupted area, and then a bound, and then nothing for dozens of yards, and then the same again. So they're sort of starting to get into the way of tracking this creature. They found a point where it obviously stopped to take some sustenance, and they found a weight, which was an impression in the ferns there, and they found some more blood and a pearl ring. Now, one thing I have missed out is that Dewdrop told the party that her partner is an Asimar, but that is not widely known. It's really only, I think, Dewdrop and the sergeant that were actually aware of the true nature. She passes as an elf. And there was also a pearl ring there. The path led on and eventually led to a canyon which ran back underneath the mountains and into a cave, which is where we are at the moment. The cave is black as light, but I believe Marion or someone has dancing lights swirling around the cave at the moment. There is a very dark, deep pool that's taking up about 80% of the space in this cave. The party found footprints in hard clay, but obviously with the weight of the creature, they seem to patrol backwards and forwards and around the lake, but eventually seem to go down and into the pool. More has just gone into the pool, to investigate. It is about, from memory, about 120 feet deep. And about 80 feet down, there is an opening which has 2 columns, which are these horrible, they're fleshy monstrosities that are obviously being created in the manner of other creatures that the party have been encountering. And this is the bit where I can't quite remember, is had anything happened once you had noticed these more? Because that was the bit that I couldn't remember the exact point we had finished last week.
I think they didn't damage me, but
they've grabbed you. Right, okay. So you had to roll a strength check and you failed it. Oh, you've not pushed to talk.
Sorry. My owl is outside of the water, and it's now sort of jumping around and pointing towards the water.
Okay.
I don't speak owl.
There was also, before we left town, Marion and Crash had a bit of an exchange about more.
Yes.
Or maybe it was on the road, I believe.
And I think before we go in, is there anything any of you...
I'm learned about that orcish term.
Here we go. You all went insane for me for a second.
Started to blink.
Are we still on the internet?
Yeah, we're good.
we're still live. Yeah.
Okay, because it just went freeze. I don't know where.
Yeah, we better.
Okay. I didn't notice it my end.
I think it might not have just been Discord, Dan, because some of my chat had to reconnect as well, so it might have just been an internet thing on my end. Apologies, everyone. We should be fine now.
Everybody's blinked once for me as well, so maybe it's
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That means they've been kidnapped.
Maybe that's Mixer's stream kicking in. Yeah, it's actually starting to record. Yay.
Jesus, don't.
Oh,
better.
I know. So, yeah, did anyone have any pointers particularly about their individual characters from last week that you wanted to make sure before we continue just now?
Oh, yeah, so what was lost? Grashtar called Moore a putok, and he explained that a putok is a wasteful person because he was wasting words on a monster. Moore got super annoyed at Grashtar because Grashtar wasn't seeking any knowledge. He was just seeking the trophy he wished for. And then Grashtar and Marion had a conversation where Grashtar said in no uncertain terms that old man can't get in the way of our journey, and Marion agreed.
And he's just having a good time.
Yeah. So that's what was.
Interrupting the hunt is not a good thing for Moore
Yes.
to do when it comes to his tribal laws.
Just making his way downtown, walking fast, faces passing his homebound.
there was that mechanic about.
About the pie charts. Yes, I was just about to come on to that. So Moore is now attempting to learn more about the nature of the Quilt Man.
Why did you bring that back?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't. It's the one thing. That's all I can remember about last week.
Thanks, Trevor.
I sat down like I can't write in it. All I can remember is Quilt Man. But what we decided, I've taken mechanism from another RPG that I saw someone using, that I was watching someone else's stream. There are other people out there. It's scary.
No.
And this is from Blades in the Dark. So what we have is 2 pie charts. And every time Mor makes a check to, when he finds something different, to make a check about the nature of the creature. If it's a success, he gets to fill in a segment on the positive pie chart, and if he fails, he fills in a section on the negative pie chart. Both pies have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 segments, and whichever one is filled up first means that either Mor will gain much more insight into the nature of the creature, how it's made, and things like that. Or if the negative one is filled in first, it means that it is completely beyond his comprehension, and he will never be able to get additional insight unless someone else with that knowledge explains it to him directly. There. So, there's been far too much of me talking for my own liking at the beginning of the stream. Thank you, Mixer. I think because things are going to happen in an order, I would like everybody to roll initiative.
13.
15.
14.
And
18.
more. 18.
Way to ruin our streak.
Okay, Mor, you are the first to act.
Right. Let's look. What can we do to escape this grasp? Probably nothing. Oh, fuck. Yeah, we're gonna cast Mage Armor on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that that is my action, so that's my turn.
No bonus actions or anything. Okay.
No.
Grash, you're next. So, Terror, for Mor, describe the actions of the owl for that Grash is witnessing. Because you all instantly see his owl, which has just been sat there in its normal sort of comatose state, suddenly get agitated.
Yeah, the owl's eyes flare open, and it's sort of looking at it's staring and trying to point and indicate at the water. It even seems to be trying to get into the water itself. It seems panicked.
Something's wrong with that bat.
I think it is a familiar. I have one of them. That probably means Mort is dead.
Well,
remember, we're in. Sorry, I'm cutting you off there, Emeros. But remember, we're in initiative, so you've got 6 seconds. So, what does Grash do anything in that first 6 seconds?
I just want to remind you that Terror more explained last time that if something happens to him while he's down in the water, the owl will come awake and do something. So that's something that happened.
That's fine.
Okay, so you'll see Grash get a very pensive look on his face and make his way over to the water, and there will be a look of genuine fear. And he will jump in.
Okay. What is Grash wearing at this moment in time?
Oh, Grash is technically wearing plate.
Okay.
Grash is also from the desert. So you want to give me a disadvantage, I understand.
No.
He's not a strong swimmer.
Yeah. But he is strong.
Very strong. So, he could probably hack swimming, right?
Yeah, this is one of these things. Absolutely, yeah. You know me. I don't want to just kill everyone by drowning them in a cave. Okay, so you jump in. You go down. Are you actively swimming down, or are you just allowing the weight of your armor to let you fall?
I'm diving in first, and then I'm looking.
Okay.
See if I can see anything.
Remind me more, did you put any light or anything on yourself, or is this still dark?
It is dark.
So what's the range on your dark vision, Grash?
My dark vision, I believe, is 60 feet. Where is that written on this newfangled sheet?
Let me have a look.
It isn't.
Okay.
Oh no, yeah. I had a dark vision somewhere else.
Just
I'm looking it up.
put it
Just put it in that as one of the flaws
in
or
your
something.
features and traits. If you're half orc, orcs and half orcs have dark vision.
60 feet.
60 feet. So you can see at the edge of your vision, you can see that Mor seems to have been grappled by one of two strange. From this distance, they still look like the stone columns, similar to the volcanic columns up in the main cave. I think I described them as looking like the sides of the columnar columns, like at the Giant's Causeway and things like that. So from that distance and in dim vision, that's what it looks like. But one of them seems to have thrown out a tendril and has grappled more with it, who's struggling.
Okay, so Grash will... he will kick his legs and he will flap his arms in a motion in order to try and get himself closer to this tendril that has captured the frail old man.
Now, just for everybody's understanding, I will talk through the rules of underwater. Sorry, I'm just bringing it up.
I know it's Constitution, right? Is the amount of minutes you can stay under?
So, a creature can hold its breath for a number of minutes equal to 1 plus its Constitution modifier. So, Grash, for you...
3 minutes.
That will be 3 minutes, or 30 rounds.
I'm good. We're Gucci.
Yeah.
Just need a healer.
Yeah. If... no...
Oh, here's a question about underwater stuff. What happens with casting spells that have a verbal quality?
Can't do it.
Ooh, that's going to change everything. Nice.
I can't cast spells?
Not if
No,
they have
they've got a
verbal.
verbal component.
So check your VSM.
Okay.
I should have done that when you cast Mage Armor, but I'll allow you to have Mage Armor because that was my fault rather than yours.
Of course he can hold it for a long time, Dan. He's an animal. He's like the embodiment of human growth hormone.
However, if you get to the end of that time period,
You
so
don't.
all of you work out what that is for you at the moment. If you've got a negative constitution, it's 1 minute. It can't go below 1 minute. It doesn't. You don't take the negatives.
You all get 10 rounds, basically, regardless.
You all get 10 rounds as a minimum. Yeah, even if you only had one con, you would get 10 rounds. When that 10 rounds runs out, that is when you start choking, and you can survive for a number of rounds equal to your Constitution modifier for a minimum of 1 round. So if Grash is underwater for 30 rounds, you then have 3 rounds to get to the surface and take a breath. Because basically you're fucked otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be clear.
Cool.
So, sorry, I
You forgot
sort
what
of
I was
talked
doing.
over that. What, yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot.
no, it's fine. I'm just he is flapping and kicking his legs towards the tendril with which has bound more. So he's swimming in a Grash way. He's pushing the water out of his way.
I think with the weight of this naturally dropping you and I think you can move at double your movement speed. So Mor's about 80 feet down, so you can't quite get to him, but I think you can get to within about 20 feet of him. If you use your action, you can get right to him, but then you wouldn't be able to do anything else, so it's up to you.
Yeah. Well, I could use my action and then use my bonus action to hit the tendril.
I think you can only use that bonus action attack if you've used your first action to make an attack.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it works.
Okay, so basically I can do fuck all then. I will. Yeah, fuck. I'll just dash and do all I need. I'll just get to him. I would like to try and pull the thing off him, but
You mean you'll be able to do that next round, but you won't be able to do it this round.
Cool.
Okay. After Grash, Eri, you've just seen the same thing that Grash did with the owl, and then Grash just dive into the water.
dive is a strong word.
I'm trying to remember. Last week, did we get into combat?
No.
Okay.
Everyone
put
should
their
be
hit
at
points
full
on
HP, all of your spell slots, all that sort of stuff.
I wasn't sure. I was like, why am I missing health? I just didn't give it back.
Because you're a lazy player, Jabberwocky.
Yep. I will... Airy. Yeah. Oh, man. Tightens their cloak. Double checks their mage armor. And severely hopes it works like it does against rain. It probably won't. And jumps in the water.
Okay. You, the same situation. So do you, again, are you swimming down, or are you just allowing the weight of your gear?
I don't have much gear.
Okay.
Because it's all in my portable hole.
Of course.
So I have to swim.
That's fine. So you go down 30 feet. And
yeah, and I'll... that's as far as I can go. That's as far as I can go.
Unless you use your action to go another.
Yeah, I'll do. And I'll send my Sprite Pixie. Well, I change what it's called every time. Down ahead to go see what's going on.
You see that Mor being grappled by the column thing. Grash is there. He's just managed to get his hands on Mor's back, and that is that.
Yep.
Mr. Marion?
Yes. All right. So
you are now standing in the dark cave all on your own, with ripples in the black water in front of you. All of your companions have disappeared beneath.
He rolls his eyes and asks the dancing lights to follow down into the water, as they are magical lights and not fires.
Yep.
They're just balls of light. So
Yeah,
all three of them
fine.
will drop down.
And I think with your background, you would know that there's no risk to the lights themselves.
Yeah.
So you see, and everyone else sees the swirling lights of... Remind us what your dancing lights look like, and are they swirling right round the cave? Are they circling you? What are you doing with them?
I sent them out a bit everywhere into the cave, but now I'm sending them 60 feet down into the hole, because that's as far as they can go.
Yeah, that's fine.
And they're
so I
gonna-
think the,
they're
the
gonna
whole
be-
of yeah, because you'll string them out again. So yeah, there's at least dim light in all of this sort of cauldron of water now, and you can all see the entrance to another subaquatic tunnel going off, and this two fleshy creatures.
And then it takes off his hat, and on the inside of the hat there is this how do you say? It's like a ribbon with a button on, so you can just press it together so it won't get loose. He places it on his belt and dives into the water, just so it won't fall out.
I like it. Yeah, I like it. That's fine. So you can do the same. You can swim down. I think probably Marion will be a lot more comfortable in the water than the rest of everybody, even though it's horrible, dark.
It's not
Yeah, under in a cave.
not fond of dark caves, but
Yeah.
he does what he has to do. So
Weirdly,
but
it's fresh water, and he hates fresh water. He can only swim in salt water.
That's right.
Yeah.
There isn't.
he drowns.
There isn't the tang of salt and iodine at all. It is fresh, clear spring water.
Well, he has taken a shower once before, at least, so he knows the difference.
I think probably the big difference for Silvereye is once the lights are down here is just how remarkably clear the water is.
Reminds him of the ocean.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Certain parts of the Caribbean area.
Yeah.
The
Nassau.
Yeah.
Nassau, yeah.
Last on the initiative order is our good friend the Column.
The column.
Yeah, I've just called them flesh columns.
I was just about to ask, what do you call them?
The flesh columns. I
Yeah.
think I've seen this movie.
And it starts. You can see the tendril that is wrapped around more start to tense, and it just slowly starts to reel him in towards the column. I think you started off about 15 or 20 feet away, let's say 20 feet away, and it reels him in 10 feet. And at 10 feet, nothing else happens. Yeah, so that is it. More, it is back to you.
Was Grash actually holding on to me as that happened?
I was
No.
reaching for you, but
Oh,
Yeah, he was reaching for you, but it wasn't quite, because he had to use his action to dash, so he couldn't do anything else.
right.
But it's only moved you 10 feet, so it's not going to screw anyone else's round up next round.
Let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to do something that I have not used before, and I'm going to use a lore dice.
Mhm.
Use Whispering
Oh, you cut off there to use Whispering.
Spell.
Okay. And if
so
you
I-
explain to everybody what Whispering Spell does.
when you cast a spell, you can spend one lore die to cast it without any somatic or verbal components. If you roll damage for this spell, you must replace one die rolled for damage with the number rolled on your lore die.
that's almost bard level of clutch. I appreciate that.
That's cool. I love that.
This lore thing is quite good. It's almost like a Battle Master fighter where it has lore dice that can do things. Yeah. So it's like a wizard version of it.
He's using his
Wizard-
maneuvers.
Sorcerer points. What are they called? Sorcerer points. Almost.
Yeah. The Sorcerer Point is kind of like an
Yeah,
economy.
it's closer to the Battle Master with the
Yeah.
dice that they get, because there are
Alright,
certain
right.
maneuvers that he can do, basically.
Except I have penalties when I use them.
Oh,
So-
nice.
We'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
Right, so I do that.
So what spell is it you're casting?
Right. I would know that fly shouldn't work underwater, right? If I cast fly on myself, it wouldn't work underwater.
I mean, you would gain 60 feet of
Yeah,
movement.
we would. Like,
Yeah.
if you would technically be flying, but like
Fuck it, aye.
maybe there'd be a reduced in the movement speed actually, considering you're underwater instead of
One would think.
through air. But I mean, you can judge that
As
you wish.
as everyone will find out when they try and go upwards. It's easy plunging downwards with armor on, not so much going up the way.
I don't wear armor. No.
Come on, guys, we only have 29 rounds left.
You do?
Yeah.
Actually, that's something I should ask. What is everyone else's constitution?
I have 30 rounds as well, or 29 now.
So you've got +2, Jabber. Is that so? You've got 20 rounds. Okay.
Wait,
I've already
it was
looked at your sheet, Mark.
second. It was 1 plus modifier.
1 plus, so I got 30
plus
rounds.
your modifier.
Oh yeah. All right. So you have 30 rounds as well.
All right. Okay. Same from cool.
Moore's in trouble.
I'm actually casting Melt's Minute Meteor,
Okay.
which creates. Let's see, how many was it? 6 tiny meteors in your space. So he's surrounded by 6 tiny meteors around him. And when you cast the spell, and as a bonus action on each of your turns thereafter, you can spend 1 or 2 meteors, sending them streaking towards a point within 120 feet of you. Right. So
That's fine. I'm going to say that it's not going to affect you, but because it's underwater, the distance is halved to 60 feet, but you're well within that, so it's not. But in case this ever happens again, I think things like that, where it is a projectile going, it's meant to be through the air, it's going to half the distance. I think that would be the same for even like
Arrows.
Sorry, my phone went off. Apologies. It should be on silent.
If anything, it would only be like, what are they called? The undersea weapons, the ones that are specifically made for it. What are they called? The trident.
Torpedo. Oh.
Yes.
Tridents, I think. He's
Those.
Yes.
Um,
The other thing with Moore's high intelligence is that you know that anything that does fire damage underwater will only cause half damage.
right, and this does fire damage. I should have thought that through. But it's
I'll allow, because player, and everything, it's a lot, and we have had a lot of disruption this week, so I will allow you to choose another spell if you wish. But anything that does fire damage is automatically halved when the target is immersed in water.
only have fire damaging spell except magic missile.
I think it's still a good spell.
Yeah, let's still use Melf's Minute.
I'm not trying to convince you not to use it. I'm just making you
Giving you the option.
It's fine. It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fine. Right. So I'm gonna fire 2 meteors. Let's see. You expend 1 or 2, sending them streaking towards your target within. Dexterity.
So it's
saving.
a dexterity saving throw. I wonder if the,
The
zero
concrete column.
movement flesh columns have a high dexterity. Do I have to make 2, so 1 for each one?
Yeah. How close are they to each other, by the way?
They are 15 feet apart,
Okay.
either side of the mouth of the cave. Are you throwing them both at one creature or one at each of them?
The one that's targeting me, unless I can target the very tentacle itself.
Nah, it's all integral. So I got a 3 and a 0 on my dexterity saving throws.
Success. Damn it. Let's.
I mean, who just rolled a 2 minus 2?
That's nice to know.
Right, so I used a lower die, so I need to roll 1. That will replace the damage.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a
Right, so both will be 1 plus whatever plus 2. Right, so one of them is 3.
You cut
And
off
the
there.
other-
So one of them is 3.
And the other one is 7.
So 3 halved to 1 and 7 halved to 3, so that's 4 fire damage. Okay. Any bonus action?
That was my bonus action.
Oh, that was your... sorry. So casting it is an action.
Yeah, it's
And...
Yeah.
They become.
That's fine. Grash.
Tor.
Where's my pick?
Attacking the tendril specifically.
Yep. That's fine. Not a problem.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, 15 plus 7.
Hit.
23. I'm gonna make that a distracting strike.
Okay.
Which means
What does a distracting strike?
Yeah. So first of all, I add a D8 to my damage.
Mm-hmm.
But I also the next attack against this target has advantage.
Nice.
So 1d8 plus 4
Guiding bolt.
is
Except the
5
hits.
plus 4 is 9. Plus 1d8 4. So 13 damage on that first. The war pick. The next attack coming through.
I think one thing, whilst when it hits, you hit this thing underwater, and I think Grash, obviously he's a hardened campaigner now, and you expect a blow like that to pull out and for the water to be filled with clouds of blood, and it's a very bloodless wound.
Interesting.
Seems to be more like you've hit a haunch of meat rather than a body that's already been fairly bloodletted.
Nice. So next one is 21.
Hits.
And that is a 11 damage on that one.
And as Grash is hitting it, you can tell that it is flesh. It seems to be quite easy for him to hit. It's not moving or anything. It's almost akin to one of his old training dummies or something like that.
Natural 19 plus 7, 26.
Hits.
So that's just for 7.
Okay. Very difficult to know because there's no eyes, there's no face. Very difficult to know if this is on the threshold of death or is an absolute sponge for damage. No indications, but it definitely takes the damage. You don't feel any resistance or anything like that from the damage you've done.
Okay, and his final attack through. That is a 14 plus 7 again, so that's 20 or 21 again. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 10.
10. And with 10, you see the tendril go limp and unfurl from more and just sort of slowly, and it's now in the very gentle current in the cave, just languishing in the water.
Okay, I will swim, or I will move between more and these things, just in case there's more coming.
Okay.
To give him an opportunity to at least not be the one who's grabbed.
Okay, that's fine.
And that's
Not
my
a problem.
turn.
Eri.
Swims a bit more down. There's one more still. It's kind of wiggling.
Yes.
Cool. I will cast Veil's Flame. So that's a dexterity saving throw.
Another 0.
And then using my Radiant Soul feature, which my link to the Celestial allows me to serve as a conduit for radiant energy, allows me to add my spellcasting modifier to any damage dice using Radiant.
Nice.
Which is
Beautiful.
this one. I'm doing Radiant now. I didn't just say that.
We know. You're in rare form today, Jab.
So I do 14 damage.
Is this what you're like when you've had good night's sleep?
I slept like nothing.
The opposite way. Okay. Yes, it seems to take effect as you normally would expect. But again, as I said to Grash, these things are featureless, faceless. There's no real understanding. But you did see the other ones succumb to several blows, so it doesn't seem like they're very strong.
So I think when Aerie uses their Radiant Soul feature, the veil actually emits a black light, like the energy's coming out of their face, but is stopped by the veil. And got swam down. I have a bonus action technically, but I don't think anyone's been hurt yet. So no, never mind. Gonna chill.
Okay, Silver Eye.
Let's see. I'm still like 50 feet away, I believe.
Yes, because you didn't swim down.
Yeah, I
further.
didn't dash. I just used some actions.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move I'm gonna move full movement and dash. That is, so I can get close.
Yeah,
to
so
the
you're
actions.
down with everybody else. That's fine.
No bonus. Well, I moved the lights a bit further to where we are as a bonus action, just to.
That's fine. That is not a problem.
And one of them a bit further into the cave, also.
Cool. That's
because they can move 60 as well as I. So
you see a third of these columns further back, about 30 feet deep in the tunnel.
All right, wonderful.
It is the other column, and now Grash is in its range. It is going to fire out one of these tendrils and try and get him as well. So I need you to make, which shouldn't be too bad for Grash, a DC 12 strength saving throw.
We're good, I'd say. Why did I say that? That's a bad thing to say.
Not one.
I get +7. So let's see. Natural 19.
Yeah, that's fine. You feel the thing, because it's not like, although it eventually curled around more, it doesn't grasp. It's like got a big gobbet of glue or something like that on the end of it, and you
it's
feel
like a
it
hagfish.
Yeah. Yes, we had that last week, didn't we? We talked about hagfish, and it doesn't affect you, and it draws itself back in. And then Mora is back to you. Well, Mora seems to be distracted by his girlfriend.
Heresy.
We only bring you the best content right here on Saviours RPG. Leave a follow down below.
Blades!
Look at the back of his head.
What was the question? Sorry.
It's your turn.
Right. I will.
What's behind you?
From me?
It's his girlfriend.
All right.
Sorry, Terrorblades. What was that?
How far is Grash from?
I mean, Grash is just like right in front of you. You know, he's what he did was he interposed himself between you and the second of these creatures, but he's right next to you.
What he does is that he will cast Fly on Grash.
Okay, that's fine. Not a problem. So, Grash, you feel the effects of the fly spell, and your movement basically is doubled to 60 feet whilst you're underwater.
Okay.
And you're not, the other thing is you're not going to now have to start making strength saving throws not to sink to the very bottom of the hole.
You would have made him. Be fine. Isn't that right, Dan?
Any movement?
He's moving away.
He's moving back, so you're backing off into the sort of center of the
Away from anything dangerous that I can see.
Yeah. And you now have relatively good vision because Silver Eyes brought these dancing lights down there. So you can see now there's the dead tendril that had you, there's one next to it, and then there's a third one about 20 or 30 feet further down the tunnel that you uncovered.
Okay. Can I explain how his mage armor looks?
Absolutely.
He sort of his cloak, he seems to get like a ragged old gray cloak that seems to be splintered at the bottom. He seems to get like a skeletal mask with a crown and long claws, and he kind of just begins to hunch over, and in the center of his chest he has a huge crystal. Yeah, and then he fires the meteors at the flesh.
Yeah, cool.
Just as a reference for Moore's personal headcanon, when Grash was going past you, you could clearly see there was like fear in his eyes. He was not comfortable in the situation at all.
Okay, first one was a 6. The other one is a...
Oh, I didn't hear the second one.
7.
And it's 2 dexterity saving throws. First one is a 5, and the second one is another 0. That's then 2 on my dice is like that's happened 3 rolls now. I've rolled a 2. So 6 and 7, both half to 3 is 6 damage.
Oh, did he attack my target? Did any of them attack the target that I gave advantage on?
That is a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, so
it's not
saving
an attack.
throws,
So
people haven't attacked it yet.
That's still there for whoever
Cool.
actually attacks it, because more spell is, as I say, is dexterity saving throws.
I'm just trying to remember it myself.
No, absolutely not a problem at all. Eri.
I'll do the same thing as last time.
Do it.
Dex save.
That is much better. It's a 14, but I think it probably still fails, doesn't
By
it?
1.
Yeah.
That is only 10 damage due to the Radiant Soul feature, which allows me to add my...
Yeah. And I'm using it on this attack.
this attack.
Because it's radiant damage. Okay.
I'll swim a bit closer.
How close?
Punching distance.
All right. Okay.
Punching distance, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Not a problem. Silver Eye.
Hit it with my sword.
Oh, you're going to go right down and hit it with the sword. Okay.
Yeah. Does a 9 hit?
Do you have advantage?
You have advantage from because a 9 doesn't hit. I mean,
That's
they're easy
crit.
to hit, but they're not that easy to hit.
Yeah, well, that's a crit, so...
Okay. Yeah.
All right, well,
hits.
barely.
Even underwater,
Barely.
best duo D&D ever.
Alright, so that's... full damage, of course, because it's a crit. Plus
And you get-
1.
Plus another dice, yeah.
Plus your double sneak attack damage, because I'm in melee range
Yep.
of it.
Wait, double sneak attack damage.
Crits double your sneak
double.
attack.
Yeah, so you get your full dice.
This is
Your
going to be
full
big.
dice crit sneak attack, and then roll it a second time and add it to maximum.
This is
So
what they call in
12.
Vegas stacking the deck.
So 12 plus
How many d6s do you roll? You're
2.
oh,
So
you're only
12
okay.
for the first one.
Yeah, it makes
And the second one was an additional 6, so that's 18. So 18 plus 9, and then plus 2 for my dueling feats.
27,
and that-
29.
29?
Plus 3 for my dexterity.
31. Jesus.
32. Level 6, 32 crit. That's
Yes.
pretty good.
That's a big yellow number.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It had 10 hit points left, so Do
Good
you
enough.
want to kill it with a flourish, or do you like slice it in half, or is it just a stab? I don't know what you're worrying about, guys. Sort of nonchalant type thing.
I think he would take as much of a water sprint as he as he could, and dashed through it and cut. I guess it. How thick is one of these columns?
Oh, it's probably about 5 feet thick.
Yeah, I don't think he could cut through all of it, but I imagine he.
I mean,
made a pretty good
I'll
move and
allow
passed.
you to because of the crit and the massive damage.
Mm.
There isn't any no with these sorts of things. It's not normal rules.
Well, he cut it off and went a bit through it. I'll use the rest of my movements
So it's
to.
sort of flapping, and again, the sort of very, very, very slight current there is, because it's attached to the top and the bottom, so it doesn't fall away or anything. But it's just these two sort of gobbets of flesh with bits and pieces sort of floating in the air. There's a little bit of a cloud of. It's more like mucus than blood that seems to be oozing out of it. But you can tell that there's that. I don't know if you've ever seen like when you put like vinegar in water and there's that sort of strange sort of cloud effect that goes through it. And that,
Yes.
I shouldn't be asking if you know that sort of stuff, Mr. Chemist.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably know the actual proper phenomena, what it's called.
It's called the cloudification of the water, obviously.
It's called vinegar alchemy. Okay.
Also, who puts vinegar in water?
Some people think it's delicious.
Yeah,
Pig
I
thing.
like it.
It's actually really good for you.
Things like that.
Yep, half water, half lukewarm water, half cider vinegar. Really good for you. Cleans your blood.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're the odd one out here, so don't act like that. We should all be acting like that because you don't.
I'm just saying.
Pure cider vinegar, though, that's too.
Jabber,
extreme.
Europe invented witches and witchcraft, all right? We know what we're doing over here.
Yeah, I also know medicine and apple
Ask a
cider
doctor.
vinegar and all vinegar. No, vinegar doesn't do anything.
All of
for
it.
you.
That's incorrect.
witchcraft.
It's
All of it.
made up.
Witchcraft.
It's not.
Anyway, let's not divulge into an argument.
No. Vinegar is amazing. I will die on this point.
Do you want any bonus action in Silver Eye?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep moving the lights a bit further into the cave, just keeping them with me.
Yep.
So
You can see the other one, but there doesn't seem to be. Now, let me see what you see. I need to read my notes. So you see that there's that other tunnel about 30. Sorry, the other column about 30 feet down the tunnel, and there seems to be a small air pocket above it, and then the tunnel narrows and continues.
he will send one of the lights into the narrow tunnel. If it isn't further than like.
I mean, you can send it down, but you don't see any other features before the light has to stop.
Yeah.
But it continues to the extremity that you can move the light at this moment in time.
And these dancing light does not grant a lot of light either. I think it's just in a 10-foot square feet or something.
Like a candle.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it works on the water, so.
It is the flesh columns go. There's only one left, and nobody is within range of it, so it is back to you, Mar.
Right. So Moore is gonna, in his hunched over form.
Round 3, right? Is it round 3 or is it round 4 for more, or still round 3?
No, Mar's been down longer, so yeah, it's round.
We'll say
4
5.
for more.
We'll say round
4.
16 for more.
Moore will fire off the last 2 bolts, meteors there
Yep,
at the.
that's a 13 and a 14.
Spell save.
Dexterity saving throws, 13 and 14.
15 is what they had to reach.
So they both fail.
Yep.
Well,
Then
it fails
a-
twice, I should say.
Yeah. 6 and 7.
Both half to 3, so it takes 6 damage. Any further movement or bonus actions from Moore?
More will begin swimming
Swimming where, sorry?
Up.
up.
Okay. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Is this versus current, or is this to be
This
determined?
is versus weight.
Okay.
Everyone was going to have to start making them after 3 turns so that they don't sink further down to the bottom of the cave.
Robes
Grash
are
is
really
now-
heavy when wet.
Yeah. I wouldn't fancy. Yeah.
And the thing is, it's the Moore is lighter, but his strength is much less as well. Yeah, you try to, but you just struggle and you don't move anywhere.
Right.
Uh,
I got nothing.
Grash, you are buoyed up. You feel the power of the spell that has been put upon you. You just feel buoyant. There's no tug or weight of your armor or anything like that, and you know that you can go much faster than you could beforehand.
I turn around and I see the struggling bunch of robes.
I mean, he's not fallen down.
I know.
He
Yeah,
tried
he's-
to go up and couldn't.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah. So Grash will turn around and see the struggling mage, and he will go and grab him and fly him up.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Moore, you're gonna need to press your life alert button.
Beep, 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 beep.
Beep, beep,
Um,
beep, beep, beep.
So you can go. I'll say you can go grab him and tow him up 60 feet. So he's not at the top, but you're almost there. But if you use
Yep.
your action to duck to things, you can. Yeah, absolutely.
It'll spurt out onto the
Yes,
soil.
sir.
But Grash will like turn midair and like take the fall as they fall down.
Well, you don't have to because you can fly.
He'll do it anyway.
That's fine. That's fine if it's flavor, but just so you know.
Yeah.
Hero.
Okay. Eri?
Did
You've
they
seen
go
Grash
back out the way we came or forward?
Yes. Back up the way
Oh.
you came.
I will attack the last dude. It's still alive, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dexterity saving throw.
That would be a 4.
I'm gonna be using my Radiant Soul feature, which is
How much damage this time?
Have we been sponsored by that feature?
Yeah.
I just got it this level, so yes.
Okay.
Sounds like
Alright.
an infomercial.
12 radiant damage.
This time.
Jabberwocky sponsored by Radiant Soul feature.
Hi, I'm Saviours D&D's
It's
Jabberwock.
not that anymore, Terror. Stop.
Hi, I'm Saviours RPG.
There
Well, I'm
you go.
sponsored by Radiant
Branding.
Soul.
Always be branding.
Is it still alive?
It is still alive.
I will swim closer.
Okay.
Down the
Absolutely.
tunnel, I guess is the way that it is. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can
Down
get
the tunnel.
it there. So you can get into melee range with it. And after your go, it is Samurai. So you've seen Grash fly up at far faster than you think he should be able to, grab Moore by the robes and tow him up and out of the water above you. And Eri has continued into the dark tunnel on the side of the cave.
Yeah, he does one of these things where he looks at Yeri, looks at the roll, and then goes after Yeri to help slay the
Okay.
final thing.
That's fine.
Let's see, that's 18.
Hits. And obviously you'll get your sneak attack because Eri's there.
I would have had it because I'm a swashbuckler either
Oh,
way.
of course.
He gets it anyway.
I keep forgetting
Ari
that.
doesn't know that either.
So die plus dueling plus thing, that's
52.
no, but it's 11 on the dice with a modifier plus the dueling feats. And 6 additional damage with the sneak
So
attack.
19 total.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
You see...
it's not. No, sorry, 6 additional with the die.
17.
Sneak attack. So that's
17.
17.
The outcome's the same. You see the creature's tendrils go limp, and you're fairly sure that life has left this, if life at all was animating this creature.
Feels good. He turns around to
Eri.
Eri and points at the air pocket or something that I saw. I believe it's right above me, you said.
Yep. So I think it's one of these ones that the two of you can go up there, and it's just like you can sort of, there's just a wee pocket, but you can both fit your head there, and you can have brief conversation whilst above the water.
That's good. He will ready himself to swim up there, but he does not have the movements.
Well, I think with only you two there, I think we can go out of initiative, so you can do that. But if we say that's what's happening there, we'll cut back to Moore and Grash on the surface of the pool and see what are you guys doing now.
I think Grash is just awkwardly getting up, because the way I see it and why he fell to the ground is he doesn't know what fly spell is or anything, so he just assumed he just got really juiced for some reason. So he'll just sort of he'll place more down.
You are not dead?
No, I am not. And you can see that Moore's hands are kind of just trembling. They just seem to be shaking.
And
the
sort of water pouring out of your mask eyes and mouth and stuff like that because it's filled up with water.
I also hate the water.
What was that?
I said I also hate the water.
I don't mind the water, but I cast spells underwater without speaking. It has effect. And you can tell that the light in his eyes are kind of flickering like a candle.
Please, stay here. Marion is still below.
He sits down.
On that note, as I had the conversation, I will have sent my pixie up to where they are. So out of the water comes a very wet pixie and just kind of shakes off. And then out of its mouth just comes Aries' voice. She's like, yeah, we're down here. We killed everything. We're going to keep on going and you're still alive. I can hear you if you want to like talk to me. This is my pixie.
Hello?
Nice to, yeah, you're talking to me.
Oh, hello.
Are you guys alive?
Oh, yes, we are alive.
Yeah, we're cool. We're down here. We are in the water. And
having a jolly good time.
Yeah. Marion says we're having a jolly good time.
He says that all the time.
Yeah, he does. We're going to keep going, if that's cool with you. But, or do you want us to come back?
Moore casts spells. He does not like the water.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to keep going. Because this is where the guy is.
I will not let Marion continue alone.
He's with me.
There is a tunnel down here. He tells it to you. I imagine he just conveys the things to Yeri.
And the two of you are almost basically having to sort of cuddle so that your faces are both in this sort of pocket.
Fanner.
And can speak at the same time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I don't know how comfortable or uncomfortable the two characters are, but for both of you to share this space, you're deliberately going to have to sort of be sharing, very close proximity, pressed up against each other.
Sharing breathing room.
But
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just so you understand like how it is.
Yeah.
It's like those creepy like cave diving movies where they're like super Christian and have tiny air pockets to breathe.
I don't think anything is comfortable about these like dark waters, cold inside a cave.
So
And now-
for me to sort of guide the party a wee bit, are you planning on going forward to scout and then bringing Grash and Moore along potentially, or are you going to join them back on the surface?
Marion was going to ask Eerie to relay to Grash that he can stay with Moore, and we will talk through the pixie, I assume, if we scout it a bit further ahead. See, make sure that it's okay. Don't kill him.
But you are both so weak.
Yeah, that is just when you see me.
Crash, you know me. We've made
Marion
it this
says
far.
you know
think
him.
You think a little water will get me?
Think a little water will get him?
It is true, and he looks back to Moore. He is much better in water than I.
He'll keep me safe, you keep more safe.
I will stand guard.
We'll let you know if you can. You can join, you can come, but I'll let you know if it's safe further on.
You saying something more?
We can continue. I'm fine. I'm just a little
old.
I was that before, but just certain things have an effect on me. And he looks at himself in his form. I guess I should explain. This is an old form of mage armor.
We can do that out
people.
of the.
Quiet,
do it
quiet.
out of the cave.
Pixie, be quiet. We're having a conversation here.
Pixie turns invisible.
Scare people. Instead of fighting me, I look like this. It's a very specific form of... And he looks like Grash. You don't understand magic, it's fine. I look like this to scare people when they want to fight me, so I don't have to fight them. You notice that the owl has also flown over to him and seems to be patting him on the back.
It is understandable for the weak not to want to fight.
And yeah, but we can continue now. I'm fine. I have a spell. I have a spell that I use so that I can be underwater for a long time. We'll be fine.
Very well. Yes. Pixie. There you are. Moore says he is going to cast a spell which will enable him to stay under. We shall return shortly.
Alright, we'll let you know if we die.
Okay. Bye.
Goodbye. The pixie just turns invisible and then just goes and stands on his shoulder.
Grash does not have any idea.
Are Eri and Marion continuing, or are you waiting for them?
Nah, we're moving on.
Marion doesn't wait.
So we'll cut to you. So you continue along. This tunnel is, you have to go in order. So who's going first? Who's going second?
I think Marion would go first.
Marion's going first.
So it is claustrophobic. You're not swimming now. You're sort of using handholds to pull yourself through. Your back submersed, and it's jinking. It's still... I mean, it's big enough that you're not in any way struggling or anything like that. But you can tell that this is a naturally formed tunnel for some reason, although it's maybe a spring or some sort of water in the past has created it, and the source has either switched or stopped. You can tell there's sort of been very strong currents in the past that sort of that's created it. But you continue on for about another 60 feet. Then there's a second air pocket, so you can take your breath again. And yep.
Okay, but about every 6 seconds, Aries flickering, invisible, just as they're traveling through this tunnel. Like, boop, 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 boop.
Of course, Marion will not see that because it's behind him.
Yeah, just in case something sees me from behind.
But Marion would have left one of the dancing lights at the beginning of the tunnel, and then every 20 feet.
How far away from you can they go?
60. No, 120 feet is the range. So I'm not sure, but I'm gonna do it as far as possible.
Yeah,
And
this at this moment, where you are at this moment in time, the first one would be at the mouth of the cave. That's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
So I think you continue on, and then as you're taking a breath and moving on from that thing, that's when Mor and Grash get to the mouth of the cave and see one of Marion's dancing lights, but no sign of Eri or Marion.
What has Mar casted on himself?
My water breathing.
Okay.
I will note that I also dismissed my
Owl.
familiar. I dismissed, so I can get him on the other side.
So I think
down,
to keep for time, I think Grash would have probably grabbed more, and I don't know how long fly lasts, by the way.
It's an hour concentration, I think, is it?
10 minutes. More
10
will
minutes
also
concentration.
said, what the effect.
If it's concentration when you cast water breathing, it's probably gone, right?
But
Water
this
breathing is
isn't-
not concentration.
Fine. So we're at the mouth of the cave.
So you get into the mouth of the cave and find the wee pocket of water, a pocket of air, sorry, and no sign of Eri and Marion, but you can see the trail of dancing lights, so it's quite obvious where they've gone. But I don't know, do we see an awkward embrace with the two of you to speak in the what did you damn it.
Orc breath.
I was hoping for a wee cuddle there. That's
Well,
fine.
he's been holding him up and down the way. So.
I kind of see
and
it,
down.
which I think is mine, is that you've just sort of grabbed the scruff of his neck on his robes and are sort of towing him.
Sort of have him
Right.
bite like in under one arm.
All right, yes, all right.
Arm block.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. That's fine. Okay, so if we cut back to Eri and Marion, and you go along another 90 feet, and it's the same thing, and it starts to widen out a bit again. And you can see a pool. So it's not an air pocket. You can see that you are coming in to probably about a pool that's about 20 feet across, and you can see the rock shelving up into it and above. But again, it's dark there, and there's no natural light above. But you can definitely see that with one of the dancing lights, you can just see the reflection of the surface.
I think Mario would stop. Just stretch out his arm and stop Eri, and signal just to wait, and like placing his hands along his throat, pointing back at him to see if he can still breathe, or he doesn't desperately have to get up to the surface.
Does Eri respond to that?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's giving a thumbs up back.
All right, then.
And then Eri remembers that they're invisible and undoes that and gives a thumbs up and then becomes back invisible.
Literally ready to go. Marion became shocked and let out every ounce of air he had left in his breath. So yeah.
You've got three turns till you drown. No. So is either of you going forward? What are you doing with the lights?
He's keeping them just in by the outcropping of the cave, the tunnel we just came through, and we're waiting here for the rest of the group.
Okay. I think as eventually Mor and Grash catch up with you. So all four of you are now in this space, and there's enough space here under the water for you to gesture and stuff like that with things. So have at it.
Marion, first of all, just points to the pool. And like not a shrug, but a more questioning, like should we like I don't know. It's very hard to convey words on the water.
And Moore casts minor illusion to tell everybody why he looks like a monster. Because it's semantic and material, so he can cast minor illusion. So it's like a scrolling text in common.
It's like the start of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's a really clever use of minor illusion. I like that. Yeah. I am looking like this because it is a spell. Yeah. Okay.
A long time ago, I got into a fight, and I
My mom got
decided I
scared.
never wanted to get into a fight again. Mom got scared. She got me this suit of armor.
So then he sort of then it changes on to because it was dark above, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what you're all seeing now is the reflection of the surface from the douse. You can't really see anything past it because it's pitch. So it's almost acting like a mirror because it's pitch black above, and it's the lights of Marion's spell are reflecting on the underside of the surface of the water, so you can literally see nothing.
So more will put into the minor illusion. Would we go this far only to turn back?
Grash is going to grab more.
So it's Superman and Lewis Lane.
But before he does, he will give him like a nod.
And
Of
as
respect.
Grash and Moore burst out of the water, I think we'll go for a break.
All right.
Sure.
Bye.
Thanks everyone. We'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes.
Or 15 or 20. Who knows?
5 or 10.
It will be 5 or 10.
Yeah, it will be bar-
Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Thanks, and we'll be back soon. Bye bye.
Bye. Hello, welcome back. Hope you have managed to grab a drink, had a stretch, had a bio break, and are ready for part 2. So, Moore and... Can I remind me, Moore and Grash, Grash has got 60 feet dark vision?
Yep.
So, Grash, in front of you, you see... Do you do the same thing, I should ask? Do you fly, or do you do the same thing of flop onto the surface again?
I assume
Just because
yeah,
there'll be a difference in like the perspective, so you'll see different things depending on what happens.
Well, he's basically heading straight up, so he will have time to make that decision.
Okay, so it's not about hitting the thing, the sort, because this is a cavern. It's about the same size as the cave that you were in, except this water is just a tiny wee bit in the side of it that goes into the thing. So it is mostly cave. It's probably about 90 feet up, so you can certainly go high without any worry. So how far do you go? Again, this is just a perspective thing. So what you can and can't see from whatever height.
Yeah, he basically will breach, make sure there's nothing in the immediate vicinity, and if not, then he can just go over to the side and bring more with him. You know.
Okay.
I don't think he's necessarily charting the cave on his own or anything.
No, but I mean, this cave's only like sort of 80, 90 feet across, so you can see the majority of it anyway.
Okay.
So what would you go, 20, 30 feet in the air? I'm just trying to gauge. So
he's probably going.
I'm not trying to draw you into doing something.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of velocity he'd have.
Terminal.
Okay, so we'll just say 20. We'll just say he would go 20 from...
Yeah, that's fine. Not a problem. So...
I imagine it as propulsion rather than him having any real control, if that makes any sense.
I absolutely understand. And like I say, I'm not trying to draw you into doing anything. It's just the description may be slightly different depending on how high you go.
Cool.
But at 20 feet, you see that. Actually, make a perception check before I describe anything.
I'm with him. Do I also get to make one?
Yeah.
If you have dark vision.
I do. But
18.
only 30, I think.
18, okay. More? What did you roll? A 1.
A crit.
No, he burped. He went.
Yeah, that was me saying.
Yeah, no,
what
I was being a dick because he's done that 3 times.
To be
us.
fair, he had his back to you for half of the game, so it's fair.
So both of you see the same thing to begin with, and then I'll see More might see a wee bit more with this crit. What are you got an 18 total, Grash?
Yeah.
What's your total More with your crit?
23.
Okay, so this is for both of you at the moment. You see, again, a rough-hewn cavern, probably some sort of volcanic happening that has created it. There are no signs, as in of civilization. So there's no small lean-to. There's no bedding. There's not anything like that at all. But you see, which dominates the center of this cavern, is a large creature with it's got 4 legs with sort of pincers on the end of them. It has a long proboscis, something along the lines of a mosquito.
Oh yeah.
Is that what a proboscis is?
The beak of the.
Well, it's not a beak. It's
It's a
more-
mosquito beak.
It's like a syringe, like a.
Scientifically,
Proboscis-
I'm not correct, but yeah.
Proboscis literally, I think, is a nose, actually, but usually an elongated nose.
Like the
but
way
this
some
thing-
beetles have them as well.
Yeah, this thing looks like a syringe. You know, it's.
I know what it is.
Starch kind of thing, but I think, well,
I know what it probably started out as, is what I should say.
yeah, absolutely. It's because I will say is when I reveal the token, you may recognize it, but don't take that because it is nothing like what the actual token is. It has 4 sets of bat-like wings, which it is mantled round, where it's sat on the ground, haunched down with its head back. And this thing is, as I say, is a huge creature. It's probably about 30 feet tall or something like that. I will just bring the token. But as I say, this is a token for another creature, so don't read too much into it.
Okay.
And so it's not one of those.
I can't make much sense of that.
Sans wing, though. No wing.
Looks disgusting.
Let me make it bigger for a second. Its head's in the
now
middle.
I see its face.
and it's-
Gross.
Yeah.
All right. Yuck. Go on.
But this is stood
And it's-
on the ground, and its wings are covering under its around it. So you're just seeing these bat-like fingers with the stretched membranes around it, and it sort of almost looks like a shell that it's sort of curling around itself. It is definitely one of the creature's creations, as it is bits and pieces of other things. One of the wings is red and looks almost like it's draconic. Maybe it's come off a chimera or a manticore or something like that. 2 of them are definitely off a giant bat. The 3rd one is actually feathered and has maybe come off a giant eagle or something like that. The pincers look like they've come off scorpions or something, which certainly Grash would probably recognize from the desert. It has a tail that almost looks like a club on the end of a sort of elongated bit of musculature, and this proboscis that for all intents and purposes, its head looks like a gigantic mosquito. And this is the thing. More with your perception, you also see that there is a prone, lifeless-looking body underneath it, which is what it is protecting with these wings, and its proboscis is jammed into its neck.
Okay.
Both of you also note that although you've made a bit of noise splashing out of the water, it has taken no interest in you whatsoever.
Do you see it? It's feeding. And Moore's shaking hand, and he doesn't point with like a finger. He points with the entire shaking hand. It's feeding.
And I think once Moore points it out to you, you see the same thing now, Grash, once it's pointed out.
Why is it feeding?
Why is it
It
not
was
attacking?
I assume at this point, us two get out of the water.
You see, you don't see any of the detail, but you see that because there's sort of rocks and boulders, but you see basically the back and the top of the wings of this creature in front of you. And it's probably
Cool.
about 40 feet away from you at this moment in time. And it has not done anything. And you're starting now to hear this.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna stop that. I don't know why you guys are just standing there watching it suck the blood out of something. I'm gonna attack it.
We didn't really
That's
get much time to
exactly
do
what
much.
Marion thinks.
Well, I think the first thing Moore said was like, "What is he doing?" He's like, "No, immediately attack."
Yeah, but that's more. I mean, that's absolutely
yeah,
good RP for more.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out of the water and immediately attack it. Saying that.
Okay.
What is it?
I'll fly more down and follow in.
Moore will. Can I try and observe the corpse? Is it a corpse? Is that person?
You would have gotten a better look.
There is no way of knowing that from this distance, but it's definitely, if it's dead, it is recently dead. You'll get that, but it is not definitely dead.
I think as Grash is sort of catching up or passing by Marion.
Be careful, friend. This is going to hurt.
He looks straight at you with a grin. Likewise, my friend. Strike true, strike hard. And he gives you one die of inspiration.
Thank you.
Okay.
We must investigate. Don't attack it.
No, I'm already attacking.
Yeah, but Moore's still saying that.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. As long as you're aware, Terror, I'm already attacking.
No, I know, but that's what he's.
That's fine.
Yeah.
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 So roll an attack.
Yeah. Immediately coming out of the water, Ari sees that and it's just like, nope. And in like a mid coming visible again, spear already blackened, just launches it at the proboscis.
The one thing I would say is that I said it was 40 feet in front of you, so your full movement, you're 10 feet short of it.
The psychic blade has a ranged quality. It's a
Super.
thrown quality.
No problem.
So this is why I'm doing it. And since we're in dim light, I have advantage.
That's cool.
Yeah, 21 to hit.
It hits.
That is a lot of dice. Because, let me actually double check that. I forgot. How many dice? Oh, yeah, there it is. That is 16 psychic damage to its face.
I'll let you all have your rounds before I say how it reacts or anything like that. That's fine. More, I take it you're just not doing anything at the moment. You're just protesting at their...
Yeah, I'm also trying to. I move closer because I want to get to the body. I'm protesting and moving closer to the.
Okay.
No,
that's
no,
fine.
no.
That's not a problem. Grash, just so I know,
Yeah.
this is just so I understand the thing is, so if you imagine the creature is in the center of a clock, and where you've come out of the water, where Marion and Eri are, is 6 o'clock. Whereabouts in the sort of 360 degrees did you drop down with more?
25 past 2. No. I think once, because he saw Eri go straight for it, and I think that probably woke him into action. Like, why? I think he just was wondering what was happening. He didn't first see the corpse, I think was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So he will go to where Eri and Marion are running from. And
So just drop back down to the edge of the water that you've come out of.
well, no, he'll more than likely he will bring more to a safe spot and continue on. I imagine, flying.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is you're not going left or right. It's sort of just behind where Eri's run.
Oh yeah, no. I mean,
Sure.
listen, whatever's straight ahead, pretty much. If that's
That's fine. It's just so I know
For context, we're in perfect cone radius.
possibly.
Is how we should phrase that.
No, Grash doesn't think of these things. He
Absolutely.
just goes straight after the thing he wants to get. So
Yep. So what does Grash hit it as well? So if so,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
run up to it.
oh hell
So-
yeah,
With your extra movement, you can get there. That's not
Yeah.
a problem.
yeah, and he's gonna hit this thing a lot. He wants to taunt it and get its aggro. Natural 19 plus 7.
Watching blow.
That's it. That hits. 1d8 plus 4, so 5 plus 4 that's 9 damage on the first strike. Second one is 13. Plus 7 is dirty 20. Okay. I think you said that hit.
Yep.
6 plus 4, so that's another 10.
Yep.
He will now use his wielderishness for some more. So that's another dirty 20.
Yep.
And that is a 7 damage. Natural 20.
Okay.
That is 14 on that. No, he's one more, I believe. That was 3, right?
So you've already had
That's
4
4?
attacks. Yep.
Okay.
The 20 was your 4th.
Action surge.
So that's another 2.
Yeah, 17.
Misses.
Oh, sorry. 17 on the dice.
Oh,
Plus
right.
7, 24. Sorry, that was my bad.
Yeah,
That's my bad. I didn't mean to. I don't want you to be revealing things. Sorry. 5 plus 4, 9. Last shot. That's. I'm imagining that's a failure. But I'm going to use the D8. That's 9 at the moment. Is it a D8, by the way?
No, it's a D6.
D6, okay. Oh, right. Well, probably won't be able to do anything, but we'll roll it anyway. 9. Yeah, that's a 1. That's a 10 altogether on that last one. To hit.
10 to hit.
Yeah.
No, that definitely misses.
Yep. And that's.
Fighters and action surge is just fucking all types of mental. Marion, what are you up to? So this thing's 40 feet in front of you. So your ordinary movement, if you run up towards it, you're going to be 10 feet short of getting into melee range.
I'm gonna go just to beat off a bit to the left of it.
You're just
I
what
assume,
to
the
the
way
left
I
of it?
assume. I'm
Taking
just,
a beat
I'm
off to
sorry.
the left. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You're circling it.
And as far as I can, it's gonna be I have 30, so
Yeah,
it's
that's fine. You make a perception check when you get 30 feet.
Yeah.
And what before you do so, what are you doing with your dancing lights?
They are gonna keep.
So they're like circling above you or around the cavern to provide as much light as possible, or
Yeah, there are four of them, so you will just scatter them
right,
around a
that's
bit.
fine. So yeah, make a perception check as well.
Perception, you say? 13.
13's enough that you get round on the angle a wee bit and you can see a wee bit past, and there seems to almost be some sort of strange, I suppose apparatus is the only thing for it. There seems to be some sort of metal scaffolding, for want of a word, small, standing beside the creature, not attached to it, but there seems to be, and this for the players, this almost looks like a standalone coat rack. So it's like a spar going up, thing across the top, and the spar going down, and there seems to be bags hanging off it, of like oil skins or something like that. Wine skins or something like that hanging from it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's wine.
Oh, lingonberry, awesome!
It's human wine.
And do you take any actions?
Fine year.
He is going. You said the creature was very large, like
It's like 30, 40 feet tall.
then he's
To the point, I must admit, is like, how did it get in here? Because you've not seen anything that would be able to get this thing in and out.
Well, no matter what, he will cast a shatter from where he is standing.
Okay, that's fine. And where are you targeting the shatter? Also, from your different angle, you've seen the body underneath it, because it's easier to see from that angle.
Oh, could I change the action if that's the case? That he does notice the body, because he knows what shatter does. He does not want to, no matter what that thing is underneath it, to hit it.
I mean, it's quite clearly a humanoid's body underneath it.
Could I change that he will take out his short bow and take a shot at him instead?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A miss. That's a 10.
Miss.
Okay.
He will just end his action.
Okay.
Yeah.
At this point, the creature is going to take a legendary action and wing attack. So it's going to start beating its wings, and everyone within 10 feet of it. So I think that's Grash and Eri, because you're exactly 10 feet from it.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, Maura, did you want to do it? Because I thought you were just looking at the
am I
creature.
within 10 feet?
Well,
Are you?
That's up to you how close you decided to go to it. Sorry.
I mean, he wants to get at the body.
All right, so yes, you would be able to, so you will be within 10 feet as well. So I need all of you to make a DC 19 dexterity saving throw.
Oh God!
All of
shit.
us.
Why didn't
I roll it in the game?
Why didn't I keep my inspiration? God damn it!
Wait, all of us. So
Nope,
me
yeah.
No,
included.
you're everyone apart
Yeah.
from you. You're far enough
All
away.
14 total.
It's beating its wings. 14's a failure. Anyone that fails takes 6 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone.
Cool.
Cute.
And then it is time for initiative.
12.
That's good. That's a dirty 20 for initiative.
I rolled a 6 plus 6, 12.
15. 1, 5.
Okay. Grash, you are first to move again.
Okay, excellent.
Half your movement to stand up.
Sure. I am stood. Now. Movement. If I used the rest of my movement to climb up him, or maybe onto like where his wing meets his back, would I be able to get there with what I have left?
Oh yeah, I mean it's 60 movement speed flying, so you've got 30. You've got your normal movement left, and what we can do is for flavor, we can say you are actually, in terms of the spell, you are flying, but because Grash is so whatever, he's sort of grabbling, onto the creature, but you're flying.
Yeah,
so
sure.
there's no. Otherwise, it would be strength checks and probably difficult terrain, but we'll not bullshit it that much. So it looks like you're sort of trying. If you've ever seen like a really bad show where it's meant to be like someone is climbing up the side of a cliff, but the technicians have been a little bit too aggressive, so the pulleys like every bit, so you're like, you think you're climbing but you're not, you're flying. It's like your arse is starting to take over your shoulders, sort of thing.
I get that.
Not that it's a bad movie about like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. He's sort of running on top.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's going to be
but
using.
Not as graceful. Sorry.
No, you're good. He's going to be using his sword, and effectively any shot he hits, or any time he hits, he's aiming right on what I imagine is a bony connection where the shoulder maybe would be, or it's obviously stitched and horrible. So everything's going on to one of these things. He's going to try and take a wing off it if he can. That is a 19.
A 19 misses.
Okay.
Just can't quite get the hit that you want.
Yeah. It's okay. First shot. Second one. Better. 25.
25 hits.
He'll use this distracting shot on this as well, so the next person who attacks will get advantage. So it's 6 plus 4 is 10, plus the 8 from the superior is an 8. So what was the original
total?
one?
18 total.
Yeah, 18 total on the
10.
second hit. Come the next two.
You have 4 attacks.
Yeah. I have Jeweler.
Oh.
Yeah. That is.
I think actually Joe wields, it's 3 attacks. You get your 2 attacks and then you get 1 extra attack from the bonus action.
Yeah, you can use an attack in your bonus action as well, but so you get your 2
But
attacks for your action.
You get your 2 attacks for your action, and then you can use your offhand as a bonus attack.
So
you don't get 2 attacks with your bonus hand. I think we have this conversation.
Yeah,
every
we've probably
week.
more than likely did. More than likely did. Yeah, I forget. Okay, yeah. Because I get confused because the other thing is like you get to add your bonus to the thing, and that confuses me sometimes.
Don't worry.
All right. Well, he's getting.
I think the last round you got an extra attack you shouldn't have, but we're not going to worry.
Will I drop this next attack then?
No, not at all.
I don't mind if you want to.
No, not at all.
So that's 26 to hit.
I'm not going to lie. This is a bag of hit points. So
Yeah, I know, right? That's clear.
1 attack's not going to be much
40
difference.
foot tall, I imagine. So 27.
That does hit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Scroll. 9 on that one.
Cool.
He has been distracted.
So that's advantage for the next person.
Yep.
Cool. It is its turn next. And you see it all slowly sort of raise up. And you see the proboscis, and it's crazy. It's just gets longer and thinner till it is almost like a needle, and you can see almost like a tiny hummingbird like tongue just come out and just sort of clean the end of it.
Ew.
And it turns to you, and I think actually everybody apart from Marion again is going to be in a 60-foot cone, as somebody thought. And I need everyone to make a DC 19 con saving throw, as it exhales a gout of superheated blood.
Natural 20.
Okay, so you take half damage.
Yep.
Constitution.
Yes.
Oh, 18. Wow.
Oh, you're one off.
7.
Yeah. And I only have a +1, so it's pretty good.
So hold on. It's good just to reiterate, to try to figure out where the cone's going. I climbed up onto its back.
Oh,
It's turned back to me.
No, you won't. It's gone the other
Okay.
the other two. Sorry.
Okay. I was hoping with the distraction it might.
It wouldn't be able to because you're on his back, so it won't be able to turn that way.
I was trying to figure that out, how that.
No. That's just me. So it's only Eri and more that this gets. But you see from above, it's like it's coming out the end of the proboscis, and it is just superheated blood.
Yeah. That the heat rising, I imagine, causing shimmering in the dark vision.
In one of my due to my radiant soul feature sponsored this episode, I'm immune to hot blood.
I no.
Immune to hot blood.
It's a very niche.
You take 29 points of poison damage. Although it's hot blood, it's poison. And you have also contracted a disease called sight rot, although your characters don't know this at the moment.
Oh, man.
No.
I didn't eat any of the blood. I do have a veil on my face.
I did wash my eyes with it, though.
No,
I did wash my eyes.
You are both covered gouts of blood. You are bloody from the top of your toes to the bottom of from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes. It's dripping. Your clothes are, if they hadn't already been saturated with water, they would be infused with the blood. And from your perspective, Marion, and then you can see this, and now like the back wall behind it is like this spray off with like two sort of silhouettes of Mor and Eri. Yeah.
Gross.
Would I take that poison damage? Thinking of all the things.
You may.
Are you resistant or immune to poison? Then no. If you aren't, then yes.
No. More seems fine.
Then you're fine.
But that will be something that the others will note, because it's like More didn't seem to take any damage at all from this.
What did I-Rot do? Because I would probably get that one.
You don't know at this moment in time. I'm telling you as players, your characters has no idea at all that there is anything wrong with you. That will be something that develops with time.
Rip eyes, I guess.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Whose turn is it?
It is also going to...
Oh no.
Move, so it is going to fly up to the top of the cave. So it's going to move 80 feet up. So Eri and More, if you want, you can make opportunity attacks.
I was 10 feet away.
Oh, you were 10 feet away. Sorry, you can, yeah. More.
And so was More.
Nope. All right. Grash is riding its back, so that's fine. It moves away without any problem, so it's now 80 feet up.
Ow.
And now it is you, Eri.
Oh, sweet. Let me see the range on this throw. Oh, hold on. I gotta do a con save for my spell. I have to get a nat 20.
Oh,
No, DC.
Wait, how much
no,
damage
'cause
did-
it
how
was,
much
it was
damage did you do?
29, so it's a DC 14.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
It's not
too
actually
bad.
as bad as you think.
Yeah, I passed. Sweet.
Because with con saves, it's half the damage or 10, whichever's the highest.
Yeah. Okay, well, it is out of
One
my
thing
range
that
of a
More also needs to make a DC 14 con save, otherwise Crash is going to take an early fall.
well, I'll have a reaction.
Yeah.
Well, if Grash didn't take any damage, if Moore didn't take any damage,
Oh, that's right. He doesn't. Of course he doesn't. Of course.
Good, because terror's rolling, and that's terrifying. Let's
Yeah.
not ever roll terror. It's fine.
I found out what
the new
Terra's
meta.
race is now, though.
You might have.
How?
Characters doesn't.
What do you mean? How? I
It's Jabber.
play a lot of
That's how-
D&D.
He also plays the weirdest things he can possibly think up. So
Sure.
I'm gonna stand up for one, because I'm still prone. I will go to the body, check it.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
It seems to be a female elf, but it definitely looks like the description that you have had for the missing lady.
Fingers to neck, dead.
Make a medicine check.
your fingers enter the neck to the open wound. Oh, Jesus, no!
But this is the one of the thing is, no matter on the roll, there is barely a mark on the thing, and there's just a small trickle of blood.
Like what we've been.
This thing
finding in
is
the woods.
it's just like find an absolute.
Just
fine
for
point.
the people watching the stream who might have missed last week, when we were following this thing to this cave system, we did find little trickles of blood here and there. So
A 3.
You can choose what Eri would believe. It may randomly correct or not, but you can decide.
I
It's
will
not-
choose.
The body is not cold to the touch, even with a 3. That is all you can
Okay.
really surmise.
That's fine. I will. I got 5 feet of movement left, so that's not gonna do anything with that. I'm out of range of it. Well, I could attack it.
Morin and Eri, with the creature being removed, you now see the strange scaffolding of bags that has been revealed by the creature flying up to the top of the cave as well.
All right, bonus action. I'm gonna heal myself with some of my hot vape.
Mental.
I heal for 12.
Moore and Silver Eye, you both got the same initiative, so what are your dexterities? So who goes first?
I imagine I go first.
Okay.
My action. I'm gonna pour a potion on the lady.
Okay.
for the dead homies.
I mean, I think
In her
you're
mouth,
actually going to try and...
Yes, I will administer a potion.
You see her eyes flutter open and she looks incredibly panicked at you.
Dewdrop sent us.
Okay, that's all you'll get.
That's all I need to say.
That's quick thinking, because I don't remember Dewdrop. But there you go.
That was my pause.
Yeah.
Remembering her name.
I remember now. Yeah.
Marion.
Gets advantage.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot it with my bow.
Cool.
You'll also get your stealth attack. Or your sneak attack.
what?
rather. Your sneak attack.
Does you have advantage?
I'm on it.
Yeah, but he gets...
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's 25 to hit.
Ooh,
Go ahead.
Yeah, so an arrow is a d6 regular, right?
Mm-hmm. Plus dex.
So
What kind of weapon are you using? Short bow?
Short bow, yeah.
Oh, then yeah. Decent.
Yeah, so that's a 9 total for
And then plus your sneak attack, because as Crash said, he's actually in melee range
plus
with the
3.
creature.
Plus 2, so an additional 5.
14 total. Okay. Any movement or bonus actions for a room?
Yeah, he's going to cast a healing word on the down lady. I assume he can hear her breathe about this point.
I mean, you can from your angle, you can see that
She's
Evie's
stabilized.
administered a healing potion, and although she's not stood up, you can see her head sort of come up and sort of start staring around, scared, and you probably heard Eri go, "2-drop sent us."
She's got 7 HP.
Then I'm going to add an additional.
Heal me. I'm more important.
4. Oh, are you hurt? Oh yeah.
He's helping the
I got hit
lady.
with hot
That's
blood.
fine. He's
When did
helped
Errol
the lady.
Flint ever leave the damsel? Like,
It's fine. I just.
He's helped the lady.
Well, here on
I
the
mean,
page-
the lady's an ordinary commoner with 3 hit points. It's now been healed twice for a total of 11 hit points, but that's by the by.
I don't see. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't actually think that's a bad thing.
I love that shit.
This game is not played on a spreadsheet.
No, exactly. All right.
Even mine
She...
Wait, you guys aren't playing on a spreadsheet?
Wait, you're not using Microsoft Excel to play D&D?
I don't use Microsoft Excel because it is
Right,
the devil.
don't you trigger terror.
Money! Here comes the money.
Right. Any other movement
No.
or anything?
No, I'm feeling pretty good,
You're good.
from
Cool.
this side. So yeah.
More.
More,
I mean, this
Big.
is definitely shot inside your eye mask and the stuff like that. So you can feel like down at your chin, there's now a collection of blood sort of just below the line of your face hole in your mask.
Show us what you can do more.
And it's hot, and as you're moving your head, you can feel it sort of sloshing around in the jaw bit of your mask.
More looks up at the creature. We don't have to kill everything we come across, and he'll cast sleep on the creature
Okay.
at level 3.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, never mind. Carry
Nope,
on.
don't say anything.
Yeah.
Con saving throw, is it?
No, he
to
rolls
roll
his
high.
dice, and if the dice is above the creature's hit points,
Right, that's fine.
Yikes.
8, 10, 18, 27. Let's see, so that's right. And I've rolled the dice 3 times now. 2 more. I said 27 plus 14. So
Where are you targeting? Because sleep says you target a point within 20 feet.
didn't it shoot up in the air or something?
it's 80 feet up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought it was closer than that.
I think Squid's
No,
at
the
60.
range. No, you can cast it within 90 feet.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
you have to say you
on a
don't.
point.
You don't target a creature.
You target a
You
point.
target a point, and then all creatures within 20-foot radius of that are affected.
Right. So I'm picking where it is up there.
Okay.
Grash, what are
Yeah.
your hit points? Are they less than what he just rolled?
I don't know what he just rolled.
Right now we're at 27 plus 14, so 41.
Ooh, just above.
Right. Doesn't take effect. Nothing happens more.
Yeah. No
It
damage.
always affects the lowest hit points creature
No,
within
yeah.
the area of effect.
More just wants it all to end.
No, I understand. Just more explaining for chat that I'm not being a total douchebag.
No, that's the spell.
This is good.
We're not
It's good
extremely
RP
bad.
actually because Moore is definitely making the decisions that he
Moore
would
would
as a
make, yeah.
character. Yeah, absolutely.
He'd
I
sleep
really
the orc.
like it. Yeah. Well, he's not trying to sleep the orc. He is trying to sleep the
I know,
dragon, but
I
he
know.
probably is.
That's fine. That's funny.
Yeah. It is absolutely. Next, well, just sorry. Do you do any movement or bonus actions? I should say, Tara.
No.
I'd like to heal the woman.
Yeah, I would like to.
After Moore finishes,
Suddenly, all the
nurse-
party are wearing fedoras. Heck, yeah.
Yeah. Nersoni stands up and runs 15 feet to the nearest boulder and takes cover behind it.
Good plan.
She doesn't say it or anything, but you can tell she just looks fucking terrified. This isn't a time for talk or anything
No.
like that. It's just I am noping out of here as far as I can. And then we're back to the top of the order, and it is Grash. Grash is still riding the creature.
This is fun. This is good. Nothing bad can happen from up here. Okay, so where I was targeting the wing, the structure, the joint, how's it looking?
Yeah,
Does it look sundered in any way? Does it look?
I mean, it's taken blows.
Because there's a couple of things I can do, but or try to do, but I want to know if I go ahead and I attack it. Does it seem like it's gonna come off? Maybe inhibiting the flying.
Oh, wait, that's always possible. Yes, 100%.
Possible.
There's no guarantees that it's definitely going to happen with the next blows, but it's possible. Yes.
Okay.
The other thing, well, make an intelligence check, Grash.
Sure, let's do that.
Or survival. If you get modifiers for survival, you can take survival.
Survival's better. Survival. Oh, that's down the very end. Okay. Okay, so that's 18.
Okay. You think taking a wing off would reduce its movement and its maneuverability? Yep. You'd probably have to remove 2 before it would be incapable of flight.
Yeah, I know, but it's as you say, it's possible.
Absolutely.
But not probable is the other thing. And as you say, it'll just reduce the speed rather than causing a
unless you took 2 off. Yeah.
Okay. Let's just keep going at this wing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you might as well because it's doing damage to the creature anyway. Yeah. So
21
hit.
Okay. 12 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Can someone just remind me how many maneuver points I get or whatever that's called? Is it 4? So I've used 2.
The superiority.
The superiority die, yeah. I think it's 4.
Think it's 4, yeah, feels right.
Okay, we'll just go.
I'll open my book and you just keep doing your
We'll
thing.
just go with that for now anyway. Second attack. That's good as well. That's 24.
Hit.
Come on. 11.
Damage, yep.
Yeah.
Take it.
Hopefully if I can hit it something. Alright, well. Rip. One more.
You get 4 superiority dice. You get a 5th one at level 7.
Cool. That's a natural 20.
Nice.
I'm going to make that a distracting strike as well then. Which is... Oh, yeah. I actually get... Oh, this is going to be big then. Because, okay, normal damage is 7 plus 8 for the crit. Savage critical is plus 8. Well, not plus 8, it's rolling 8. And it's 8 on the die.
It's 23.
23, and... Is there anything else I add to that?
So,
well, you've done the weapon. You've done the full weapon damage.
Yeah,
for the crit.
I've got the crit.
Rolled the second
Savage.
You've rolled the second weapon dice and then a third dice for the savage critical.
So I have one more for the superiority die from the distracting strike.
yes.
And your strength.
5.
Did you add that?
Yes, you did add that because
yeah.
you said the first dice was 11, so it's 8 plus.
So plus 5.
28.
So it's 29.
29. Just blah, blah, blah. I'm one big. How's the wing looking?
Yeah, I think with that, especially the fact it was a crit, that wing comes off. And roll me a d4, because I've not decided which wing is which.
Okay. And that is a 4.
Okay, so that's the feathered wing that looks like
that's what I had in my head.
A giant eagle's wing.
Yeah, that's in my head while I was hacking at. I was seeing feathers.
And you can see, and it sort of lurches a bit. You know that if you weren't under the influence of more spell, you would probably have had to have made some sort of... Well, you'd have made a check, but with the flight, it's not a problem. Yeah. Any movement or bonus actions?
I move over to the next wing over. Basically,
systematically.
I mean,
that's just like basically turning around, so that's not a problem at all. It is the creature.
I threw it on the ground.
Yeah, Terror, this is very Dragon's Dogma. Get on its back.
I've never played that.
I've always wanted to, and I never did.
So good.
Yeah.
See if it gets its blood back. Right, it really wants Grash, but it can't get to him because you're on its back. Mors? No, I think it's going to swoop down and go for Marion, because you're the person that's probably done the next amount of damage to it. So it's going to swoop down, and it is going to make 2 claw attacks against you.
Very well. Bring it.
Snippy crab-like pincer. Maybe actually that is, one is like a wee scorpion one, and one's a huge, giant, heavy crab claw.
No, don't like that.
Oh, the quilt monsters are...
First one is a 17.
That's a miss.
And the second one's a 13.
That's also a miss. Easy dodges. He is braving this thing.
Okay. That is it's going to stay in contact with you. Then it is Eri.
Okay. I'm chilling down here, covered in hot blood.
He's hot-blooded.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've had hot blood anywhere near me.
Since the last fight.
Yeah. It's 80 feet in the air. Has it dipped to 60?
It's on the
Oh,
ground.
no, it's on the
next
ground.
to me.
It's right next to Marion.
Fuck yeah. I'm gonna fucking wreck it. I'm gonna run up and stab it. No. I'm gonna run 20 feet away from it and throw.
That's fine.
Not be in melee range. That's a 19 on the dice.
You also get advantage if you want it.
I already have advantage.
Oh, okay.
Because it's dark. I fight in the shade.
Okay.
Thank you for that 300 quote, Jabber.
Yeah. Brought to you by Radiant Soul. Nice, that's actually good damage. An 8, a 7, and a 6. 21.
Yep.
Psychic damage.
Checks out.
Math checks.
Yeah, that checks out.
I did an Excel formula.
At that point, it is going to use one of its legendary actions to make a tail attack on Grash, because it suddenly remembered it can whip its tail over its back.
Back and forth?
It's whip its tail back and forth.
No.
That is 24.
Oh, yeah, that hits. That's a big old hit.
17 bludgeoning damage.
Owie.
I think as you're sort of looking and sort of egging on Eri and Marion, and you don't see that its tail coils round and just thumps you right in the back of the shoulders.
Yeah. Well, I think he's actually. It's not very much he's egging people on. I think it's more that he's just getting ready to get on to the next one. He is not concentrated on. I don't even think he knows there's a tail.
Yeah,
Like,
fair play.
I am going.
But I imagine
to...
like a scene from Aliens where like the tail just comes up in the background and.
My familiar is going to shoot him in the eye with its tiny longbow.
Tiny longbow.
I only fight dragons and giant 30-foot monsters.
The one thing I would say is, was your familiar with you when you got hit by the breath weapon, and would it have been dissipated by that?
It was on his shoulder.
Yeah, that's
right. No,
yeah, and Grash does not know.
Yeah, that's fine.
I thought of that too, and I was like, right, I never took it back.
Maybe the tail targets the pixie thing.
No, it's
Yeah,
visible.
maybe that's what happened.
It's gonna shoot the thing in the eye.
Okay.
Oh shit, I might have a chance of hitting.
Throwing a needle at someone.
I rolled a 16. I don't know what my plus hit is.
Welcome to.
I have a plus 6 to hit. That's a
Hits.
22.
22 hits, yeah.
I mean, it's 1 damage.
The longbow for a pixie can be from like a foot away.
But I needed to make a con save.
Con save. I think it's gonna be grand. Why not?
There's a key.
31.
That's not under 5, is it?
No.
It's a DC 10. If it rolls 5 under that, it goes unconscious.
Jesus.
Uh,
That seems randomly like it could have an effect in a battle.
I like to scare you occasionally. It literally can't roll lower than a 12.
I know.
This thing's 40 foot tall, it was described as. Like,
I didn't think it'd have a very bad con.
I mean, how much con does its eye have? I mean, that's
Well,
More than one.
more than what
I hit it with 1 damage.
I mean, it's basically got a dragon eyelash, and it just blinks it out.
Bink. Man, I love you. I love Sprite.
Man, I love
More better
you.
constitution when you
Man, I love you. That's my turn.
Silver Eye.
Yes. How does switching weapons work? Because I'm still wearing my bow. Can I switch, or is that an action? I'm not sure.
If you drop the
bonus
bow
action.
on the ground, you can draw your sword and attack.
Or
As a bonus action, sorry.
what if
Or-
he puts his short bow in his left hand and draws with his right? Why? No, it's a big thing that all D&D players do. It's like, oh, I dropped my bow. It's like, you have 2 hands. You can hold a bow in your offhand.
Well, I'm just gonna drop the bow. Grab this. I'm not gonna fiddle with those things.
Yeah.
So he drops it. He knows where it is. If it gets broken, it's not a big thing for him either. Either way. So he will attempt to hit it with a sword.
It's a running joke in a lot of my D&D games where we just have players just throwing weapons on the ground all the time when they switch. It's like, no, you can hold them.
Or as Dan says,
19.
just have your bow in your offhand and then you can fire the sword.
Sorry, what was that, Emeros?
19 to hit. Is that enough?
19 misses.
Oh, well, he's just standing there.
Yeah, I must admit, you've hit it a lot more than I expected.
Yeah, I'm missing.
You've already worked out from what misses him. I think it's got an AC of 20.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, that's my turn.
Okay.
No, wait, I'm gonna use a healing word on Jabber,
Okay, that's fine.
if that's fine.
There's no
Yeah, of
way we
course
can
it is.
pass the advantage over to Marion, is there? Probably not.
No.
Damn.
More.
More will look up at the creature, just look at it in the entire situation, and just go, I guess violence is the only thing that there is. And then he's going to his hands, they seem again to sort of, they buckle very strangely and seem to almost pop out of their joints. And in a very strange motion, he forms a triangle, and it sort of creates this blazing light of fire, and each point fires forth a searing ray.
Nice.
Let me see again.
He's aiming at the creature, right?
Of course, Grash.
Okay.
Don't worry. Just accept. No,
You're
it's a
1 second
ranged
wind away
spell
from an
attack.
ass whooping.
It's a ranged spell attack.
Ranged spell attack. So the first one is a 15.
I could probably take another God of Hot Blood now.
Hot blooded. Sorry.
As
Let's
he
see-
rolls.
let's see if it's-
rolls, he recharges. Ah! Hot blood time.
Sorry, Mar. What damage? What rolls to hit have you been doing?
Right. Did that one hit? Then I'm assuming
I didn't hear the roll. Sorry, I was being
Oh,
very rude.
sorry. 15.
No, it's got an AC of 20.
Sorry. Right. The second
So
one.
I think its wing just comes down and sort of deflects it into the roof of the cavern.
The second ray is a 20.
Yep,
7
that
plus
hits.
13. Yeah. And that one does an amazing 5 damage. Ugh. All right, let's see again. And a miss. Push to talk.
Sorry, I was holding the wrong button. Any movement or bonus actions for more?
More is moving backwards.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have any bonus actions.
That's fine.
Top of the round, Crash.
Yeah, no, it's Nursoni. She's going to dash another 30 feet and find another bigger boulder and cover behind it, and then it's Crash.
Ah, a new wing for me.
21. Hit.
Mm-hmm.
8 damage.
Yep.
17 plus 24.
Hit.
For 12 damage.
Yep.
And what's that? 4 plus 7.
11.
So 21.
Which is a miss. Oh,
No,
21.
roll
total.
sorry, I do apologize. I do math wrong. 5 plus 4. That's 9.
Yep. 9 damage. That's fine. And you think that second wing is on the verge.
Nice.
Start to see some of the tendons and things separating underneath it, but it's just not quite enough. Overall, the creature's looking pretty rough. I'm not
good.
going to lie. But it is its goal.
Damn,
It
I
is
forgot it
going,
had that.
It's not going to. It is. It's going to leap back up into the air again, back off a little bit. So anyone in melee range can take a melee attack, other than Grash, because you're on its back. But it's basically maneuvering itself for another breath to take more Eri and Marion.
I like the thought of a couple of seconds ago, just a giant hawkwing just slapping down onto the ground.
Yeah.
They probably don't even
20.
see me all that well up there.
It's 22 to hit. So
Yep, that hits.
Just do I add my sneak attack to that, or just
Yep.
weapon damage?
No,
plus-
you only get that. You only get that.
It's only
you
on
get
one attack.
once
I
per-
did not hit
Yeah,
him
but
last time.
he didn't hit the last time, so you do get the sneak attack.
Yeah, all right, wonderful.
Sneaky.
Sneaky.
The one thing I will say, Marion, this is a
Yes.
new turn, so you won't get sneak attack again this turn. So because This opportunity attack has been before your turn, so
Yeah,
it's not
that's
the last round, it's a new round, but that's...
Hit him.
Oh, he already hit it. He's rolling the
Okay.
damage. He got a 22. There's a lot of complex maths going on here.
No, 15 points of damage. I rolled minimum damage on the die.
Yikes.
Weapon die. But it added up to a total of 6 on that one, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep, it seems to take that as it goes off. And then I need the 3 of you to make a DC Constitution saving throw of 19. More, you still need to do it because it has reference to the eye rot.
I failed.
Me too. I'm gonna die.
21.
Hey.
You pass, so you take half damage. And you don't get eye rot either. It's just it's
Because he's got silver eyes.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
got them silver eyes.
Hopefully less.
Oh man, I just had a memory. I think Emeros explained, well, Marion explained how he got that nickname last week.
He did.
No, it was 2 weeks ago.
Was that? Are you
2 weeks
sure?
ago.
Okay, cool.
I believe it was. But yeah, I did.
It's lost to time.
Sorry, it's more this time. 30 points of poison damage.
How much?
30.
30.
So I take 15.
Yes, you take 15 because you passed your saving throw. Also,
I have 1 HP.
more
Yikes.
More and Eri, you now start to feel a pinch at your eyes. Your eyes start to your vision starts to blur, and you now have -1 on all attack rolls and ability checks that rely on sight.
Yikes.
Fireball.
Oh god.
No,
Fireball.
no, no,
There's-
third levels.
Also, fireballs a save anyway, so you could have been fine.
That's true. Eri, it's you. 1
Sweet.
HP, Eri.
Yeah, that was only because of the temporary HP that I had.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I was at 28 with 3 temp HP.
Clutch.
Yeah. Bonus action. I'm gonna drink a healing potion.
That's fine. 2d4 plus 2.
Eat. I'm at 9 HP. I'm doing fine. Blood me again, boy. It's a joke.
I'll check.
How far away is it?
I got 5, so it's got blood back. It's backed off about 30 feet from you. Because it moved up, and it's also probably
Cool.
about 15 feet off the ground.
I'll go.
So it could move in an angle to get all 3 of you.
I'll go within 20 feet of it
Mm-hmm.
and attack. With my Spear of Destiny. Brought to you by Radiant Soul.
Radiant.
Does a
Soul.
21 hit?
Yes, it does.
Can't stop me with this eye rot. Except maybe if you blood me again, then yes. You can.
It's called sight rot, actually.
Oh shit. 13 is how these numbers 13. Psychic damage. And I drink a potion as a bonus action. And I will move 10. I'll move if I have any movement left. Just
You've got
bit
10
away.
10 feet of movement left.
I'll move 10 feet away.
Okay. Is Silver Eye.
I'm going to ask,
carry on.
yes, how does my bow look?
Your bow's fine.
Oh, it is. Then I'm going to drop my sword,
It's,
pick up
it's,
the bow.
it's taking poison damage, so it's not doing any problem.
All right. Wait, how far away is the creature away from me? Is he more than 30?
30, 40
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to get to it without a dash.
I mean, I'll say, let's say it is 30 feet. So if you want to use your sword, then that's fine.
Yeah, then I'm going to run off and use my sword. I missed.
Okay.
14.
Yeah, 14 misses. More
Yes.
is your go.
Do I really have to? More moves backwards. And he's
So you can, by the time your back's against the back cave wall, you can get like 60 feet away from it at the moment.
okay. And more is as he's covered in blood and his vision begins to sort of get blurry and his hands are still shaking. He's just he seems to be very confused and everything is wrong. But then he sort of centers himself, still with the shaking hands, and he focuses on the creature itself and he casts Magic Missile at level 2.
Roll your damage.
Yep.
Covered in blood.
So that's 4d4 plus 1, is it?
So he just lines up magic missiles and then he just sends them away. Right. Let's see. It's +1 totally.
Each time.
It's plus 1 to each d4.
Oh, okay.
So you get 4 darts that are 1d4 plus 1.
44 plus 4.
Right. Okay. So those first two were 9, and then it's another 9, so 18.
Okay. How do you want to do it?
More.
Because it had 8 hit points left.
Oh.
I am so happy that Moore killed this thing. Carry on.
I have to say, narratively, it makes me greatly happy. Yeah.
I love when things like that happen.
As more focuses on the very arcane nature of the creature, as you know, it's not to hit; it'll just hit. So he sort of focuses in on the creature, and he, thinking of how the other creatures were built and what he knows about them, he sends away the arcane bolt to try and find the weak spots in the construction of the creature. And
so you say that you actually target the other top wing that Grash was doing and finish it off and take one of the other wings off?
Yeah. And one bolt, or 2 bolts, go into the snout, the thing. That word that I can't
Snout.
remember.
Proboscis, yeah.
The Presbyterian.
Tears it up, yeah.
It's a schnauzer.
yeah.
The snout.
The schnooter.
And as soon as the creature goes down, he sort of drops down to one knee.
He's got a tongue in his nose, now that I think about it.
Yeah, it does.
Don't we all?
If you think like a hummingbird's tongue,
Yeah, or moth is like that too.
An anteater.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it also has a mouth. So it's got a mouth.
The image.
In the image, not necessarily in real life.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have a mouth. Because that's why I said I've used an image. Don't draw too much from the image.
I was like, does it have 2 mouths and 2 tongues?
And can it scream?
All right.
I think that, although it's a wee bit early, I think we wrap up now. And
In the air?
Well, no, it comes to, I mean, it was only like 10, I said it only went like 10, 15 feet in the air, and you're flying, so it's just going to fall away beneath you, and you're going to be left up there flying.
No. I'm going down with this ship.
Right, so
With
you're
my,
rolling.
with my sword right at it, the nape of its back of
That's
its neck.
Ares gonna immediately run to the pool of water and jump in.
Okay, to clean up. Yeah, I think we deal with the aftermath of this next week because yes, this has been a combat-heavy episode. I would imagine next week is going to be very heavy RP and story-wise.
This is
So
awesome,
there's a
dude.
balance.
It's also been a combat filled with RP.
Yeah, man. That's
That's
the
true as
thing.
well,
It's the whole thing is character development. It was really, really well done by everyone. So congrats.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm just waiting for bludgeoning damage.
No.
You're lucky on its second. It didn't get its breath back on its second go because if you'd had one more, that would have been a whole lot worse.
I believe it myself.
If we try and spare you the shopping episodes, Dan, no one wants that.
They're banned from our new
Yeah.
regime.
There's nothing fun about no terror, especially no terror.
Terror, that's just not.
I don't know what more would do in a store. Oh, nice things.
Yeah, that's the problem. See, we go in, we're like, oh.
We don't know what more would do, but we know what terror is.
Yes.
Yeah.
More begins putting up stuff.
That is problematic, to say the least. Okay, so do we
That's
have
episode 6.
followers or anybody to shout
We
out?
have gained no new followers today.
Let's celebrate. Wait,
But-
what?
But we did have some on
Yeah.
Yes.
Wednesday, didn't we? Yes, when we were.
Did
playing
you?
Sea of Thieves.
I can have a look.
I'm certain we had one, if not two.
We did. I can just call this one our Fijab. That was for our Sea of Thieves stream we do every Wednesday. Me, Squid, and Dan in chat, and Vic the Viking, who also is a mixer streamer. And we got a follow from Mr. Movie. He was really active in chat and everything. So
Yeah,
thanks
we
so
had a
much
lot
for
of
the
fun
follow.
asking stupid movie-based questions for him.
Yeah, we did. We asked him, well, what's your favorite movie, Mr. Movie?
And I would like to bring up from last week,
Yes.
our good friend Flatlined, who followed us and was active in chat in the end and joined our Discord, where you can find a link below, decided to donate some money, which we thank him for. But his question was, he's a newbie who sat in and can't get his head around the rules, and his DM is a bit of a D. Do you have any advice for when your DM is a bit of a D? I know all of us have experience with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
A bit?
As a
A bit?
DM with a bit
Yeah.
of a D, I spent quite a bit of time chatting with him on Discord last week. So, if
But in
anyone
general, for
or
people watching
else-
this back, it might be
General
nice
for
to...
people, if
Yeah.
you have
If-
advice for anyone's got like just a simple
Well,
tip that you've
I think, and I certainly think this goes to especially Dombro because I've played with him longer than everybody else, and it's the way is if a group isn't working, don't be afraid to say so,
Yeah.
because it might be something that can be fixed because it's not a huge thing, or it might be the case of, well, I think we probably finish here and part ways and find someone else. And what we've done is like, well, I enjoy playing with you, so we'll try and find someone else.
Yeah.
And then you introduced me to Terror, and we met Jabber, and
Yeah.
then that's finished. And then Terror went, oh, well, I've got my pal from school who would like to join us, and Emeros's thing. And that's how we've come
See,
together. And
Saviours.
we're all of a thing. And it's not, although we've been playing together as this group for just over 2 years, it was what, 3-4 year
3 or 4,
process. Yeah, and it was 2 years prior to that to actually build the correct group together.
So just to shorten it up, never be afraid, especially if you're just starting out. Just that initial group that you're starting with, you don't necessarily have to approach that like, oh, we're going to be playing for years. Just go in, learn the game, have fun. If there's like 1 or 2 players or someone you really like from there and you're having trouble with the DM, there's nothing wrong with just saying that and just being open,
I think it's very important to note that all DMs have their own style of running a
Yeah.
game. They all get their own influences.
No one's
from
right or
different
wrong,
games. They all get their own influences from different media, and someone's style of DMing might not be how you want to play the game.
Absolutely.
And that is something very easy to go to the DM and just be like, hey, this isn't
It's not
what
for
the
me.
experience that I want is. And most DMs super cool with that.
Yeah.
And you leave the game, you continue with the game. Maybe the DM changes a bit, but it's very good to understand that everybody plays this game differently. Not everyone's gonna do it how you want it
I
to
think
do.
there is a little fear out there to have those conversations because there's lots on social media about, people who are very resistant to change or they like things to do things. That's just the classic thing that we see in society all the time. The negative stuff always gets prevalence. It's not actually as bad out there. Although we took time to put this party together, we didn't have bad people or anything.
No.
They just didn't suit our style. None of them we didn't fall out or have major arguments or anything.
As well, when
It
you
was
do find your
clash
group,
of styles.
when you do find your group of players, especially, that was the way we were, because we were all players before Squid took over the GM position.
Was
But by that
forced to.
stage, yeah, we made him do it. But by that stage, we had already figured out what style we wanted. We all were on the same page.
And somehow they've managed to keep me along, and they hate all of my characters.
Yeah,
I had
Dan makes
no
a
idea.
great point, and this especially is for newer players. There is this expectation that every Dungeons and Dragons is going to be DM'd by Matt Mercer.
Yeah,
And
but
that
that's
just
silly.
isn't
That's
the
a silly
case.
thought.
It is a silly thought, but especially I have seen it quite a lot, especially with the newcomers, that they don't realise that, he is a professional voice actor. He does that for a living, has done for decades.
Listen, and it's true, but he'll tell you that himself. He doesn't
Oh, absolutely.
lord it over anyone. The thing is, that's one way of looking at it. We kind of pretty much would be closer to what Matt Mercer does than, say, sort of a super off top-down dungeon grindy thing. We like the narrative.
Absolutely.
We like the interpersonalities of the party. So we've definitely taken from his style and stuff. And
One more thing,
yeah.
and that's true from the player perspective. But as GMs, don't be afraid either to ask your party: is there some if you have the intention of having a fun game, or ask your players what their experiences
Figure
are.
out get everyone on the same page before you roll a dice is the best way to do it.
If you're new to being a GM, also feedback can always be good. Maybe they think of something that you are not, or maybe you have a vision of something else.
I mean, I prefer the benevolent dictator approach. But,
Yeah, we know that. I'm just not encouraging this to everybody else. So we
Squid
know
couldn't
what
be
we're in for.
the furthest from that. Squid will literally message us and be like, "What do you think?
that
Is
sounds
that
like
okay?"
a dissent.
Yeah, no,
But
I think
I just wanted to bring. We just wanted to bring those up as the request for advice from our new good friend Flatlined, who lives in Australia.
But the very last
And
point
pays.
is that we are all very happy to have prolonged, longer discussions on Discord. Dan will, in chat will tell you, I've had, especially Dombro and I have had big chats with him and Vic about character creation and about how things work and all the rest of it.
that's how the hobby lives on.
We love doing that sort of thing. It is a hobby for all, and all are welcome.
The only thing I would add is, if it isn't working and it just won't work, don't
Just
be
get out.
afraid to, as they say, escape the bag.
Pull the
There's
parachute.
more groups.
At the end of the day, it's meant to be fun. If it's not fun, it's not for you.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm mostly here to mock terror, but that's me personally.
Oh, I thought
My life
that was me as well.
Oh, we are kind of like you and I.
Yeah, I know. No much mages for life.
Is that what I feel like? I'm somewhat related to you, because the only thing I get is mocking.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're my parents or anybody I know.
No, we're older brothers.
All right, at the risk of this going on for another half an hour, shall we bring things to a conclusion and say cheery bye?
Absolutely. Jabber, would you like to give our outro?
Oh no.
Oh God.
Wait, is he paused?
No, he's
That's the
lagged
outro.
out.
He is.
Okay, so before our cameras break, thank you so much. We'll be back next week. Follow the Twitter, follow the stream.
We have a
Our
guild.
YouTube is going to be up probably next week sometime.
Oh.
Hopefully this recorded. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Have a great week, everyone.
See you later.